afternoon, ma'am.
How you doing?
Hey, you had mentioned during training camp that you had all-pro tackle as one of your wants. How safe is it to add all-pro wide receiver? And as the second part to that, what was going through your mind when you knew that play was getting called and when the ball was in the air?
Yeah, we had to go heavy personnel on that, and once Wiley was down, I didn't think there was a chance we were calling it. So kind of surprised me, which might have been a good thing. That way I wasn't thinking about it the whole game. But when it came in, I went and reported eligible, and luckily kind of tricked the defense on the field there, and wide open over there in the end zone. And Pat made me work for that one a little bit, but it's all right. We practice those kind of things, and it was a memory I'll have for life.
Let's go next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Eric. I know you played some tight end way back in the day. I'm just curious the last time you were in the end zone.
Last time I was in the end zone, so we ran the veer in high school. I was an outside linebacker for my sophomore and junior year, but we had a tight end package on the goal line, just kind of like throw it up to me in the corner of the end zone. So junior year was probably the last. Before that, freshman year when I played quarterback, got a couple touchdowns. But yeah, I haven't been in the end zone much.
Let's go next to Karen Kornacki. Go ahead, Karen.
I hope you've watched video of it. You were stunningly, athletic. But I want to ask you about the Patriots. You guys have faced one defensive front, one defensive, the strength of these teams have been on defense, especially up front. When you look at the Patriots, again, they're a strong defensive team. And how do you prepare for them? Like you had Baltimore and the Chargers, or, is there something specific about them you prepare for?
Oh, yeah, they got a good defense. Obviously, they're winning football games, and defense is a big part of that. And, so I think as an O-line, we're just trying to prepare with the same mentality, making sure we're studying, making sure we're watching the film, what they're doing, and just practicing the right way. We practice with a game-like tempo, and I think that's been paying off for us. And to keep that going, it's a challenge, but it's, one we're up for. And Coach Reed, doesn't accept anything but it. So, we're excited for another challenge this week, and, the challenges will just continue. We got a big bullseye on our back, coming off the Super Bowl win, and, we've started this thing right. We just got to keep it going.
Let's go next to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, what's happening, Fish?
What's up?
Hey, with only a limited number of fans at the game on Monday, on the TV broadcast, Patrick could be heard calling out the blitz with his pre-snap read of the defense. Is that one of the areas in his game where you feel like he has progressed?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a knack for it. He's doing a great job seeing that stuff, but as an O-line, we're also preparing for that stuff. We knew what was coming the other night, and obviously we call it like a flavor of the week. They're gonna tweak it every week a little differently. We'll see something different than what's been on film this week. Also, we just once we see it once in the game, we make a sideline adjustment for what we're gonna how we're gonna handle that. And we just, keep doing our thing. But, yeah, I mean, you're not always going to see exactly what you see on film. But we just handle that like pros and keep on rolling.
Looks like we've got 4 more hands up, so we'll just go right down the line. Let's start with Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Eric, a couple of things. First off, it looked to me on the TV coverage like you might have wiped your hands on Patrick's towel and said something to him right before that play. If you could take me through that. And then the second part is just about having Wiley out right before the game. You've got a new guy next to you, just kind of what the cohesion of the line has been so far this year on those quick things where you have to have a change right before a game, and just how you've been working with Osimile.
Yeah, I did wipe my hands off. If you come down in the trenches mid-game, you'll see there's a lot of sweat involved. So didn't want to let that one slip through my fingers, so I thought it was worth kind of sneakily wiping my hands off before that, and I'm glad I did. I got it in and put it in the end zone. And then, yeah, I think when guys go down, we've been trained for those situations. It's not the first time. I mean, it's the trenches, man. Guys get hurt mid-game. Something happens before game. I think Coach Reed's big thing is, man, when next guy is in, we don't expect any drop-off. Mike came in and did a great job. Playing next to Clutch, he's been great. We got a good thing going. We just got to, keep working, staying consistent, and doing what we do.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Eric, I'd imagine after the touchdown catch, there were some calls with some friends, family, mentors. I was curious if you could tell us your favorite conversation and what it was like.
Yeah, I had a lot of texts. It took me probably through yesterday to get back to everybody. I tried to do my best on that. But no, everyone was excited for me. I think, one of the coolest stories about it is, my dad actually mentioned, he's like, I wonder when the last time a tackle and a fullback scored in a game. I'd be curious on that. I have no idea. I don't really know how you figure that stuff out. But, I think it was a pretty cool night for, me and Sherm to get in the end zone. And, especially on Monday Night Football, it's a memory I'll cherish.
Looks like we've got two left, Sarin and then Blair. Go ahead, Sarin.
Eric, I'm curious, you mentioned practicing that play, and I think Andy said, you snuck that in, maybe the times when the media wasn't there, right, getting some reps in. And Patrick talked about it, said, he'd thrown it in practice and made you jump once. He wanted to kind of see what your reach was. I'm curious, how many times do you get a chance to practice a play like that? And then conversely, like, that's fun, right? The fans had fun. You guys clearly had fun with it. How much does Andy Reid have those kind of plays, be it in the game, but also in practice and getting to do some kind of unorthodox things, maybe lighten the mood and perhaps make you guys a better team because it does make the work part of the equation fun?
Yeah, I think to start off, Coach Reid's got quite the playbook. So when we say, like, we practice something a lot, 3 or 4 reps is practicing something a lot. We got a lot of stuff to get through in the week, and we get as much in as we can in our walkthrough and practice. I think during our practice week, we probably ran it 3 times, maybe, and we just kind of get the spot where I needed to be. And, with that, the end dropping with me a bit, Pat had to put it a little over the top, which I adjusted to, and I'm glad I was able to reel it in. It was fun, but we just prepare for, whatever Coach Reid's got dialed up, and we go out and execute.
Go to the last one. We'll go to Blair Kirchhoff. Go there.
Hey, Eric, when media can go to practice, usually I guess it's on Fridays, one of the last things we see before we leave is offensive linemen catching passes, and that you guys are jogging. And I'm just wondering, it looks to us like, man, this is just something to get the blood flowing. But is there some value to that? And did it come in handy when your number was called the other night?
Yeah, the O-line and D-line, man, we get our work in big time on Wednesday and Thursday in coaches' practices, and Friday's like a polishing day. And I think starting off practice with that is like a little bit of a reward for working our butts off the last 2 days. It just gets us in a good mindset, ready to just polish all the details on Friday. I guess, over the years, obviously I've been doing that for 8 years on Friday practices. I'm guessing maybe my hands got a little better, and it's a fun period for us, but maybe possibly helped.